I really think, alongside what you're saying, is like, I think that's where the market is going anyway, is decentralizing in general. We're going away from these huge vertically integrated companies to lots of shareholders, enabled by technology, the ability to communicate in ways we weren't able to before, the quick, nimble movements of many people.
Well, and trust is a huge part of that piece. That I totally agree that you think about the as America onshores all this manufacturing capability, which is a huge topic in itself, but like they're just not, you don't have the ability to be extremely vertically integrated like you did. We need to specialize. All of the people, even in our world, from the end user to the raw material, you have to specialize, because it's the same story as, it's similar to our personal stories. Like, we had to focus and specialize so that we could be the best at what we're doing. Well, that's the story of American supply chains too, that we have to be specialized. But what you lose in that specialization is the control, like that each piece in the supply chain, they have to operate interdependently. Not they can't have this vertically integrated where the company is making, and not to say that it's not possible, but it's not the most effective model. That, if you think about all ends of the spectrum, what it takes to produce a compressed air package or a integrated solution for an industrial project, that all the components of that, you have your raw steel production, to what you do with that steel, making it into fittings and valves and pipe and pressure vessels, and then all the controls and electronics and automation that goes into that unit, and then the assembly and the coatings and that's not even to talk about all the design and quality control and the
assembly.
The whole ball of wax. Like, if you want to do that completely in control, vertically integrated company, your ability to serve the market is narrowed substantially, because just laws of physics. You can't grow all of those components as fast as you need to serve as many people as you want to. And so we have to specialize, and with that specialization comes that we have to be able to trust and work with the vendors and all the components in the supply chain that we all have the same best interest. If you're gonna group up with 3 or 4 different companies to produce a industrial solution, that those companies have to have a pretty high level of trust, that because you're dealing with a lot of IP, you're dealing with finely tuned components that if there isn't that trust, then you're gonna find it pretty difficult. But even on the money side, the economics of that relationship, it's still no different. You're just able to scale way faster.
About. Yeah. So what you're saying, if I understand what you're saying, because this is actually a question. Because the original, there's more to it, but generally part of the idea of vertical integration was capturing all the markup at every level. But what you're saying is that the volume and the efficiencies you're able to gain by everybody specializing overcomes the downside of losing all those markups that you're capturing.
100%. Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it really does. Like, if you're extremely vertically integrated, which piece of that is your which piece of that, of all those things that we just talked about, is your specialty or expertise, right?
Well, yeah, it's funny. It's like a fallacy, because you could argue that, oh, we're capturing all the markups in all these steps, but you suck at them all.
Yeah, you do.
You're not going to be good at one of them.
You're not going to be great at any. You might be good. Good is,
good,
and it's good debate. And these are just opinions. These are
just
thoughts,
this is a discussion, but yeah. But that's the argument, and it actually makes a ton of sense when you think about it. It's the old saying that we always said: if you're sitting in 2 seats, you're half-assed.
Yeah.
Well, if you're sitting in 30 seats, and the thing that compounds the issue now is the labor deal.
Right.
Is like to recruit and retain all these different labor people, train in all these different crafts, and actually be really good at these things is a serious challenge that I think a lot of people are still underselling.
Yeah. Because
the status quo, that's what they're used to doing. You're the big guy on the block. No one has a choice other than to buy from you. Well, them days are over,
Yeah, yeah. And I think that, if you think about the really vertically integrated business model, that's how they're able to capitalize on is the IP, right? They control the system, and through patents and all these IP laws, they're able to control the market with their product. There's nobody like them that has the product that they offer. But that's a thing of the past, with technology being where it is now, is that the amount of people that are able to have very specific IP and control it is really limited. It's that percentage of people that do that. You're talking in like extreme technological advances, like with AI and the way into the computer chip industry and some of that. But in the vast majority of the markets, it's not really a thing. And so it becomes, how can you bring more value, and how can you focus to raise your efficiency and volume, rather than controlling the market through IP
Well, it kind of goes back to the thing I always think about, and we always say, is just that there's no shortage of ideas and inventions, and everybody's got an idea, and ideas are cheap, really. Yeah. It's who wants to do the work and do it right and do it really well. Well, that's us. Yeah. I mean, that's what, and I think that's what you're talking about when you say bring value.
Yeah.
Like, bring value is nose to the grindstone, doing it really, really well.
Right.
Better than anybody else.
Right.
You got this solution, but can you bring it to the market? Well, that's the challenge in today's world.
Yeah. Yep. Can you bring it to the market? That's the question. Yep. And so that ties right into our offering, and what we're focused on doing is that you take these people that have this solution, and they're the designers, the inventors. They're the people that have their head into the mechanics of industrial processes, whether it's gas or air or liquids or cleaning or filtering or any of that, and they understand that to a molecular level, and they're wanting to bring it to the market. Well, like we talked about already, for them to do all those things from start to finish is really going to limit their impact. And so we come in and through NDAs and non-competes and whatever it takes to establish that trust, the good relationship to build on, that we can come in and through our manufacturing and our focus on helping them grow, we can let them focus on what they're really good at, and the design, and making their designs better and more effective and more efficient, and of course they need to maintain control of the final product. And so we always recommend that they continue doing the assembly, the final assembly, and the FAT testing, so that when a customer receives that unit, the seller knows that it's what they promised, and the customer gets what they asked for. If we're, the further down that path we go, the less influence our customers have on the end user, and so they need to maintain control. And the other thing that it allows them to do is free up more of their resources to stock the maintenance parts, the equipment to maintain that piece of equipment for the long-term future, instead of investing all their resources into manufacturing and
monitoring performance. And so together, with our help and with their expertise, we're able to scale and bring products and solutions to the market faster and at a higher volume than they would on their own.
Yep. And that's what we need. That's what the U.S. needs. You think about there's an industry that, one of the industries we've been learning a bit about recently is that I don't know the exact percentage, but it's a huge percentage, 75 to 90% would be my guess, of the equipment to do the work comes from Europe and these other countries. Like, they're the only people that they can, Switzerland and Germany and Europe is the only place that produces this equipment to do this process. That's insane. We're completely beholden to this, other country,
right,
to do.
Yeah, we need to be building
to do
them here.
This work. It's crazy. Well, we got to be building them here, and the only way to do that, in my opinion, is to.
We got to specialize.
Is to specialize and allow the designers and inventors to do what they do best, so that we can develop those products in America.
Because the whole other piece to it too is that, okay, this is just getting the initial or the general or the base, offering to the market, and in a scalable way, in an adaptive way, at volume. Well, technology is moving at breakneck speed, and they're going to have improvements to their product. They're going to have updates, changes, tweaks. Well, same thing.
Yep.
If they're able to focus on that, like you're saying, they free up resources, so they're able to focus on their improvements. And you kind of touched on a little bit with like the maintenance because they need to be monitoring the performance of their solutions.
Yeah, 100%.
And then be making their improvements. And we just support all that.
Yep.
Well, if they're focused on manufacturing themselves, they're going to be, you can't focus on too many things at once. They're going to be inefficient at one of these things, and they need to be able to scale and move and rock with the right team.
Right. Yep. 100%. That's not to say it can't be done. Like,
it can be done.
It can be done. There are definitely a lot of corporations, and especially when they reach a certain size, that they're able to do all those things. But even then, rarely. Apple doesn't manufacture their own computer chips.
Right. There's a reason.
There's a reason they don't do it, and because they know their market, and they know they're focused completely on the consumer, as we should be. Got to divide and conquer.
For sure.
But it also ties. The interesting thing is that it also ties to that. You think about the philosophies of abundance versus scarcity, and that when you think about having that abundance mindset, and you can read and study about all that and how it goes, and you've been a big student of that for years. But the opposite of the abundance mindset is a scarcity mindset, and the extremely vertically integrated and controlled companies are living a scarcity mindset. But if we can build a foundation of trust and work off of that to scale out the supply chain and focus and highly specialized, then we're going to create more opportunity and more abundance than we've seen in a lot of years, I think.
Well, and way more value.
Way more value.
I mean, look at the shareholder prices of some of these vertically integrated companies. It's starting to show in their pocketbook. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the report card.
Yeah.